between the Seahawks and Cardinals on Fox. Speaking of the Cardinals star, coming off an unbelievable game, winning Hail Mary touchdown to help put his team in a three-way tie for first in the NFC West. Play also boosted Kyler Murray's MVP chances. Currently he has the fourth best odds according to Fox Bet. Take a listen to the Cardinals quarterback on the MVP talk.
I haven't done anything, so as far as MVP deal, I'm not even really worried about that. I was as far as my personal confidence. Do I believe that I'm one of the best in the league? Yeah, of course. I mean, I think anybody should be confident in themselves.
Greg is back, but Acho, does Kyler Murray sound cocky, something that I just can't help, or confident, saying he's one of the best in the league?
To me, it's easy. He sounds confident. The delineation for me between cocky and confident is whether or not it's the truth. If you speak in facts, then it can't be cocky. It's just a factual matter. It's like sometimes Marcellus says, somebody says something that's factual, but it might be mean. It's like, no, it's a fact. They stating facts. Kyler Murray, he's not being cocky, sir. He's just letting the world know what time it is. In a world where #1 pick quarterbacks are more likely to be bust than they are to be ballers, Kyler Murray's like, I showed up on the scene, and within about 20 games, y'all are already mentioning that you're not mentioning me in the MVP conversation, which means you mentioning me in the MVP conversation. That means I'm right there hovering around it. I also look at the fact of Kyler Murray is having a historical season when you look at his touchdowns plus his rushing touchdowns. What he's doing running the ball plus throwing the ball as a quarterback, we haven't seen anything like it. Can we talk about my full screen?
Yes.
Most games with a pass touchdown and rush touchdown in a single season. Kyler Murray, he's clearly going to smash that record because he's already tied the record with 8, and he got 7 games remaining. This dude he's exceeding all expectations. Again, I've said this earlier. I will say this once again. The Cardinals took a huge leap of faith drafting Kyler Murray. A huge leap of faith because you had just drafted a first-round pick from a big brand program in UCLA when they drafted Josh Rosen, number 10 overall. They fire their coach, and they ship out their top 10 quarterback. So if you're bringing in Kyler Murray, everything the Cardinals franchise is dependent on your success, and he succeeded. I don't see cocky. I hear confident.
Did you just try to soften what cocky is and call it confident? Sound like you did. But to me, he sounds cocky, and that's a good thing. I think cocky gets a bad rap in this world.
Okay, talk about it.
Let's defend cockiness a little bit, because I know I'm cocky. Between the ears, oh, yeah, I'm very cocky. If y'all only knew the audio that goes on between me and myself all day long, I am very cocky, but I don't wear it. So then y'all can start looking at me like, oh, he's confident. Or even worse, when people come up to me, you're so down to earth. And I'm like, boy, you are not listening to the soundtrack playing in my head. Because to beat Kyler Murray, to beat anybody in this world, do you know what you have to think about yourself to become 1 in a million, which all football players are, let alone someone in an MVP conversation? You can't be normal and get where he is. So it's interesting. This is a guy right now who he's on pace to be the first NFL player ever to have 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing in a season. 1 out of 25,796 players that have ever taken a snap in the NFL. You're going to be one of those 25,000 plus. That is also 1 of a million. And now you're not going to be cocky. It's okay. And he told on himself why he's cocky, because he started to tell you how he really feels about himself. And then he started to bring everyone else into it. He's like, oh, yeah, everybody should feel that way. You know why you bring others into it? Because you just realize you're way out there in terms of the reception. But in reality, if you don't think you're the one, how you ever going to become the one like Kyler Murray?
I like this. I agree with both of you. I'm going to side more with the cocky, though. And this is my reason why. Because, Marcellus, you hit it right there on the head. Cocky is not always a bad thing. And the reason why I say he's cocky, because he has kind of these big brothers. You know, you ever been you ever seen a guy who always talks all that trash, but he's not really the one that fights? Kyler Murray, he throws some punches, but when you look to the left and you look to the right and you got a Hall of Famer over here and a potential future Hall of Famer over here, DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald, and we're leading the league in rushing, and I'm a part of all of it. Oh, I have every bit to be cocky, because when I speak, they gon' punch. They gon' speak too. Their game is gonna be loud. So I got guys who gonna fight for me. I ain't even got to fight. Because what I do, they gonna back me up. What I say, they gonna back me up. So everything that he's done, he's been great. He's been great throwing the football. He's been great rushing the football. All the stats align to this is a special player. However, when you add the pieces around you that gives you that lift, they're holding your arms up even though you tired, and I can't lose. He's in a win-win situation.
Fellas, this conversation, it's been so eye-opening for me. It's been so refreshing to hear you all redefine this term cocky. I agree with both of y'all now. This is one of those kumbaya moments, Marcellus. I know you don't like when people and things get along, but I'm sorry, we're here. Me, you, and Greg, we all agree for once. Cocky, I feel like, is like that word judgmental, right? Judgmental has such a negative connotation now. You can't judge me. Wait, I can't assess the situation that I'm entering into? Like, to be judgmental now is to be like the worst type of human being. You're so judgmental. I feel y'all. Because at first I came into this thing thinking that cocky was a bad thing. Oh, he's so cocky. It's a negative adjective, negative attribute. But I just wanted to say that you gentlemen opened my eyes for the first time and probably the last time.
I appreciate that. You're welcome. I told you Moana's going to come in. You're welcome. I love that song. All right, here's the thing. You talk about judgment, and I'm very judgmental, so people always say that to me, and I always have an argument about being judgmental. I'm like, look, I'm just trying to group you all together and figure this out. Now, you can show me different, and I'm open to that same judgment. But the point is, peer pressure is also one that gets a bad connotation. Peer pressure could be negative or positive. Why do we always slant it towards a negative? It depends on what situation you're in. But look at the situation Kyler Murray's in. You talked about a future Hall of Famer in Larry Fitzgerald, and you talked about another future Hall of Famer in DeAndre Hopkins. But what about your coach? Look how empowered he feels when his coach says, quote, I kind of visualized what he could be since he was 15 years old. Cliff Kingsbury's been knowing this guy for so long and been waiting to get his hands on him and give him that playbook. And that's what's empowering about it. Of course you're going to be cocky, not only because of your own efforts,